What's up, everybody? I made a new intro. It actually counts down and stuff, and it's all fancy. It's got our extended house remix of our intro song. I don't know if you guys know, but that's actually a custom track that my buddy and his husband made for us, specifically for TH Reading. He sampled stepper motors from his ANET A8. That's what the the stepper noise is actual stepper noise that he sampled from his ANET. So. Just a little fun fact. So today we're going to be looking at the Ender 3 V3 KE XMN Elemental PXYZ QRSTUV WXYZ. In all seriousness, Ender 3 V3 SE. So the Ender 3, again, we're reusing the same name, version 3. So they have version 2, and it's the SE. So I'm assuming SE. I'm just going to assume it stands for the standard edition. So they have the Ender 3 V3, KE, and SE. The SE is the Marlin one, and that one's under $200. That's the one we're looking at today. I also have the KE, which is the Clipper one. I'm assuming KE is for the Clipper edition. We purchased these printers out of our own pocket. Creality did not send them to us. I am actually legitimately excited for this printer to look at this because the price point and the features, and the one thing I'm most curious about is it has an auto Z offset function. And I want to see how they're doing that and see if we can implement that on other machines. I'm going to rip off China for once. I'm going to try. I'm going to see how they're doing it, see if it's something we can easily implement as a product for something for other machines. But we'll see how they're doing it. But yeah, so at the price point, if this thing works, it might dethrone my pick printer for like the sub $200, which right now, before looking at this, I've been recommending the Solval SV06. And I have a Solval SV06. Krista uses it. It's been a great printer. I also have the SV06 Plus. Those are two really good printers. Now, if the V3K or V3 E3 V3 SE, these model numbers, hey, Creality Marketing Department, if you guys are watching this, stop using the Ender 3 name. Come out with a new thing. You don't need to
just saw more posts about Ender 3 V3s.
You're confusing customers. It makes it even harder for us to figure out what is what and accidentally confuse things. So, Creality, I'm pleading with you. Please, like, call it the Ender 30 or something if you want to keep the 3. I don't know.
Then it's going to confuse people with the CR30, which is their belt printer.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay. Hey, and can we just change the Ender 3 Nitro or something? I don't know. Come up with the stupid word to put after it. Like, I don't know. something. What's a good word for that would imply it's a good beginner printer? Because if this works, this would probably be a really good printer for beginners, for people that don't want to shell out for a closed source system like the Bamboo. Also, this is half the price of Bamboo's the Mini. The Mini is what 400 something with the AMS or whatever, or what is it by itself? 300 by itself. It's still cheaper than the Mini and bigger build volume. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm actually excited to check this out. Again, we purchased this. Now, I am affiliate with Creality, and if you guys do like this printer, now I'm going to tell you if it's shit. We haven't. This is a live stream right now. I have no idea if it's going to be crap. We'll see. But if it's good, I'll give it my thumbs up. We're objective here. We take a look at what did the printer cost, what features does it have, and how well does it work out of the box. And if there are issues, how hard are those issues to fix? And is it stuff you're willing to live with for the price, right? So the whole thing with how I look at printers is how much should I pay for them? What sucks about it? And does the suck level not exceed the price? Because if a printer is expensive and it sucks a lot, that's bad. But if the printer is really cheap and it sucks, but you can fix it or upgrade it inexpensively, then it still can get a thumbs up. So, yeah. So we're gonna see here.
$459 right now.
450. Is that with the AMS?
That's with the AMS.
What's without? It's like 3 something, isn't it?
$299.
Okay, so either way, this is bigger build volume than the Mini, and it's $100 less, and it's not closed source like the Bamboo, which a lot of people are going to find out.
The A1.
Yeah, you can't get the A1. So I think Bamboo. I think the A1 moniker is like ANET 1 because they're taking over the throne of flamethrower printers. So ANET's, as far as I know, they're not doing anything. I don't know if they're defunct, but I haven't seen anything from them in a while. And those of you guys that are new to the 3D printing space, ANET A8s were known for catching on fire and burning people's houses down. I'm not even joking. So that's why I made that little picture where it was like I put the ANET logo above the A1. I had the fire extinguisher on the bed with smoke coming off of it. That's the joke. It's a joke.
Googled.
Don't get butthurt.
First result is the A1 Mini.
So, all right. As you can see here, it is still sealed from them. I have not opened it. I've not tampered with it. Because this is how we do it, okay? I ordered this directly from Creality. This was not from Amazon. This was directly from Creality. And they actually got this to me in like 4 days. So, and I'm assuming they're not going to do what Amazon does and send people used machines or used products. That's one of the reasons I don't like buying from Amazon is I'm tired of ordering stuff and getting used products. Amazon thinks that's okay to send people used products when they're buying new equipment. So,
yeah, do what I do when I return stuff to Amazon. Right all over the inside of the box.
I do.
Used, broken, do not resell.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how good. So it does have a CR touch, but I'm really interested. Like, I don't like the CR touches or BL touches because they're mechanical. They're okay. If a printer comes with it, I'll take a CR touch or BL touch over no auto bed level. But I'm really curious about their Auto Z offset feature. We do have a touch screen here, or not a touch screen. I'm assuming this is a rotary. I'm assuming this is going to be one that it's going to be closed source like the others and not be able to be updated, but we can probably make a screen conversion for this. This does have an SD card slot on the side, which is new.
Oh, that has to be a new version.
It's got to be another new version.
5 versions?
This looks like it's also a clamshell that snaps together. So we'll see. The problem with the color screens and the touch screens is they run their own software. So being able to modify the firmware, and as far as I know, Creality has not released source code for this. Actually, while I'm unboxing this, see if they did release it. I haven't looked, to be honest. I shouldn't say they haven't. I'm not aware of it, but I also haven't looked for it, to be fair. So we're going to unbox this, and I'm going to go through what's in the box. It is packed fairly well. Tor, it looks like our new solid bed mounts will fit this. They have the same kind of strain relief on here. Are there springs? No, it is solid mounted. But they have the same kind of strain relief. Okay, that's kind of weird. We're going to have to see what they did there. All right. Is that it?
So they have the KE clipper, but I don't see the...
All right. I'm checking if there's anything else in the box. Nope. Okay. There's a lot of foam. It is well packed. I honestly can't remember last time I got a printer that was damaged in transit, though, to be fair. All right. First thing I don't like, ribbon cables, but sadly, this is the way all these printers are going now. I'm fighting a losing battle trying to have things that are repairable. So, you know, we got to take the wins with the losses here. This is already loose out of the box, and it's solid mounted. So I'm assuming the screws are loose.
Like they use a load cell for the auto Z.
Yeah, I think that's how they're doing it. There's like a little load cell here in the corner. So that's probably how they're doing the auto Z offset, which is kind of what I assumed. I am going to tighten this. Okay, we can actually get to the screws. So you see how this is loose? I'm just going to tighten these screws up here. I'm going to grab my my Menards screwdriver here. I'm going to tighten this up. This is probably just loose from shipping. All right. Although looking at this, these are M4 screws. I don't think our solid bed mounts will work on here. If you wanted to like do a camera mount, these are the screws. You'd have to put longer M4 bolts on here.
Well, I don't think it's going to work just because of the bed sensor.
No, the bed sensor, it just bolts in. That's all it is. It just bolts in.
Isn't it a different size than the other three?
No, it's the same. Oh, it's up a little more. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it must. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. So it's nothing. I thought maybe they had something else, but hey, if it works, I'm not going to complain. All right. So the magnet feels about. So like some of their printers, like the Ender 5 S1, has a really strong magnet. Like it's as strong as the magnets we sell. This one does feel like this would probably not get very, won't be very good at high temps, which this is an entry level printer. I wouldn't assume it's going to come with a higher temp magnet because they're more expensive. They got to cut costs somehow. But we'll test that. So, all right, we got the screen. We've got a power cord here. We got a bag of the little filament samples. Hey, chat, what do we do with the little filament samples? What do we do with them? Come on. What do we do with these? What do we do with these little things? I know there's a stream delay, so I'll give you guys a second. Wait, Ben, yeah, Jonathan, this goes right in the trash. Right in the trash. All right, so we got all the screws in nice labeled bags. Hey, look at it. We changed what kind of nozzle this uses. So we can't use an MK8 or a Volcano. It's literally a slightly longer MK8 style nozzle. So this takes proprietary nozzles. Yay, thanks, Creality.
Why?
So, all right, I'm already not liking that. Yay, more stuff to stock. Instead of just using the same nozzles we've been using for years now, and we're gonna make it harder for people to find parts easy. So I'll have to see if we can get parts in. I think we're the days of us being able to easily get aftermarket parts for printers is gonna be going down because these companies are wanting to lock you into their ecosystems more and more, which sucks. All right, this is something I like. Okay, look, this is weird. The belt is actually driven from the rear here.
That's
so the belt path is actually pretty nice on here. So instead of it
isn't it a Core ZX?
No, this is not a Core ZX. This is still a Cartesian. Yeah, and it comes around to the front here and attaches to the carriage there. Yeah, it's an interesting setup. So the end stop's part of the hot end here. Here's a look at the hot end from the back. You guys can see that there. So this is a whole new hot end design. I'm wondering what, other than making people have to buy nozzles specifically for these printers, what their reasoning was for not using MK8 style nozzles. Now, the one thing I do like here is we've got a belt link at the top here.
Finally
So
having
you see
Link
that?
Z.
So it's one Z motor, but linked. It's actually done really well. It's got retaining bearings at the top on each. So I do like that. For the price, I like what I see so far, even though I'm a little pissed that they decided to go the way of proprietary crap for the nozzle. Like, this is literally an M6 thread here, which is what your MK8s use, your V6s use. So this is longer than a V6, shorter than a Volcano, and longer than MK8. So this hot end has to use these particular nozzles. Now, I can probably contact our suppliers and get our own made. But again, this is another thing that is going to be specific to this printer. So we'll see. Maybe the KE uses the same nozzles, but more stuff for consumers to figure out and gives you less choices for nozzles down the road. Okay. So the assembly, we got to bolt the frame on. It bolts 3 from the bottom on each side. 3 from the bottom on each side, and then it looks like 3 from the top, 2 from the top. So that looks pretty good. This is weird extrusion. Look at the extrusion they're using. It's actually like it looks like a 2040, but it's not.
So like 2020 with a face on it.
Yeah. It's weird. Now, oh, look at this. Is this how they're adjusting the wheel tension? There's no more eccentric nuts. It's like there's a wheel behind here, and this is how it clamps. That's actually a nicer design than the eccentric nut. There is an eccentric nut on the bottom of the hot end here. Can you guys see that there? So there's one eccentric nut on the bottom of the hot end here, right there.
Oh, and another tool head board.
Okay. Yeah, there's another tool head board. So the problem with this stuff is it makes assembly easier, but now it's like, okay, if this breaks, you have to go to the manufacturer to get new parts. Wow, they're using M4 or M3 screws to bolt this in.
That's a little thin.
So I'm going to put these up top
you have
here.
3, but
there's 3 in the bottom and then 2 up top here. It looks like you could put 4 in, but I don't think. No, there's no screw. There's screw holes in the molds here to put 2 more in, but there's only inserts here. Okay, so we need. It says put in the slot in the base, tighten it first with M3x14 screws by lining the holes from the bottom, then use M3x8 to secure it in place from the rear end of the gantry frame holes in the same way. So we got to put 3 in through the bottom, then 2 in through the top. So M3x14. Their guide does look pretty nice. M3x14. The M3x14 screws add gasket. What? What? Oh man, put it on our list because we're gonna do this stuff we need to get in for these. The nozzles would be one of them. One of the things we need to get in terms of parts and accessories to carry. So maybe open a OneNote, make a new OneNote page. All right. Lots of sheet metal on this. I think the days of us seeing extrusion printers, like where they're solely made from extrusion, are going to be pretty numbered. I feel like everybody's going with all custom stuff, which looks nicer. However, repairability wise, it's not good. Makes it harder to get parts if like something breaks. Where the hell is my tool set? Tor, did you take my tool set? Tor,
Not
it's your fault.
You came all
the way from California and stole my tool set. What the hell? I had it over here. Oh wait, it is hiding under a piece of foam over here. All right. Let's see. I love how, though, do you see how little ventilation hole the power supply has? I'm assuming that's the power supply there. Like, do you see how poorly...
It's going to get choked.
Yeah. Maybe it likes being choked. Okay, there's no kink shaming. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get these in.
Also, I could not find the GitHub for.
This version, but the Clipper version has a GitHub repository.
Does it?
From them.
Okay.
It's always the Marlin versions they lack 5 months behind on.
Okay. We ain't using no T handles or Allen keys. Let's see. The other side. The other one's here. I love this little screwdriver. It's so nice for dealing with all these small screws.
I considered getting one of like the handheld ones off AliExpress, but it's like my little Ryobi or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfectly fine.
I'll take that. I guarantee this, or even your Ryobi is going to outlast the AliExpress special. I'm not a big Ryobi fan because I'm more of the buy once cry once thing because Milwaukee's expensive. However, they do make damn good tools. So this is the first M12 tool I've had, and I'm pretty impressed with it. Okay, so this is the M5x8 screws and the M3x8 screws, which I need.
Joe,
I need four. I need four.
We'll take it apart and look inside, see what board it has and everything after the first print.
Yeah, we always tear it. We gotta use it stock before we tear into it. Okay, so this is telling me to use the M3x8 screws, and I need. Oh, it's showing me to only put it in over here on this side. Here, the M3x8s. Because there's M3 screws that go in over there too. There are holes for that side to be bolted down. Oh, you know what? I think it's just in the injection mold, and it's covered up by the motor. Now that I see that there. So, all right, let me get my handy dandy magnetic tool holder. Okay, yeah, it's covered up by there. Even though there's heat set inserts in the other side, it's covered up. Yeah, I'm glad I got this. Because like when you're doing a printer build, especially one with a lot of screws, it gets really old putting in a billion screws, and the big drills I have will just obliterate these tiny ones. So, all right, we're gonna connect this now. Hey, look at heated bed with strain relief. Wow. I wonder if these will arc and catch fire like the bamboos are. Probably not. It's one of the reasons I don't like having AC power going through my bed. All right, it says put on the display screen. We need M4x10s. Remo's gonna bark because Matt's coming in to grab stuff. Hey, Remo, can you calm down? He knows who it is. M4x10s. Matthew, those two white boxes in front of my Ender 3 Pro here. Hey, enough. Those are the two batteries need to go out, and then all those printed parts need to go. I don't really have a box really for you. You can check in the garage to see if there's one floating around there. All right. We need to get the screen mounted. So is this going to use the same bit? Is it a 2.5? It is a 2.5. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take the screen off the bracket here. This bracket has 3 screw holes, 1, 2, 3, and this goes right here. So this mount looks like the same mount that we already actually have a retrofit mount for 12864. We'll see if this is. I'm going to see if it'll load our firmware, but I'm going to assume that this screen, just like the other ones they've been shipping with, are not going to work with the DWIN or .i firmware. So, all right, let's put this up on its side here. And then we need to get the other 2 screws installed. When my bit gets stuck in the screw hub. Nope.
Anything else, or these are the only parts?
Those are the camera adapters for the new solid bed mounts. So yeah, that's all. I'm going to start up another job. I'm going to run those off in here. Give me 1 second, guys. There's 20 full sets in there, so there should be 60 parts there.
Does your
There's
Marlin
one of each.
firmware have
All right.
traffic shaping? Do you mean input shaping? And yes, it does have input shaping.
All right. I think they're using input shaping on this. Our firmware does, yes, but I think they are running input shaping on this. I think it was one of the selling points. Okay, I got to put the spool holder on now. It's so weird seeing, like, Solval did this, and I thought it would be a problem. It does make it less rigid, but it does work.
That is a lot of play.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be okay, though. All right, so they want to have this facing forward. So this will need to go up here. And I think these are different. Oh, we'll get them started with that. I'll put the right bit in there in a sec. Whoop. I thought that was going overboard. All right. There we go. Okay, so we have the spool holder installed, the screen installed. It says to connect the ribbon cable. So on a lot of these, the Ender 3 V2 was kind of the same way too. Or not the Ender 3 V2, the S1 series, where this right here, it says get the black positioning label of the flexible flat cable stuck at the line claw. What this means is it goes right here. It goes right here. Yeah, I kind of like push it in there and work it in. Kind of just make it go back and forth. And then there is a stepper motor connection here for X. And then the cable, the FFC, as I call it, goes right here. Now, they do have a strain relief for this, which I do like, which you need for something like this. So these connectors are not really rated for this kind of motion, which I don't get why they're putting them there. And they do actually show you all the wiring. I just did it because I built so many printers, but their directions are pretty good. Then they say, then secure with FFC fixing clip assembly. So that's this here, which is in this bag. It's actually in the spare parts bag.
It's a standard Ender 3's build size.
Is it? Yeah, I think it's 220 by 220 by so.
And
I doubt this will hit 250 millimeters a second. I'm going to press X to doubt.
Acceleration
maybe 100, maybe 100, like maybe 100, 120 tops. It depends on how good this extruder and the flow is on the hot end. So the extruder itself looks like the one that comes on their Sprite extruders. Because I have one on my Ender 3 Pro, or Ender 3 S1, I should say. This looks like the Sprite extruder. It has the same kind of feel. It's a geared extruder. So this is a pretty nice extruder setup for how, like, what this printer has on it so far, assuming this all works correctly, is really impressive for the build price.
Yes,
like
they
I
do
feel
list
like
it as the Sprite.
I feel like they basically killed off all their other models with something like this at this price point. Like, it's pretty wild. The question though is, how did they get down to that price point? Are they just, making fuck all for margins, or is there, or did they like cut a lot of corners? I mean, we'll find out. We're going to take a look inside. All right, so I'm going to set the voltage switch here. It's on 230. Unlike Joel Telling, I know how to read a switch. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this in to the wall power.
Cool. It's currently $199 on Creality's
Yeah.
website.
Okay.
So for $200, if this works out, that's not bad at all.
So
Especially with having
I plugged it in. Oh wait, hang on. There we go. I don't know why I must have bumped the switch when I moved it. All right, English. So yeah, it's not a touchscreen. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and peel this though. All you people who leave these on your screens are monsters.
I see that in tickets all the time for like our 12
All right.
or LCD kids.
So this looks just like the screen that's on the Ender 3 V2, on the Ender 3 S1. It's the same kind of thing. I think it's just a different form factor. So that probably means that because this is the same kind of thing, it's probably not going to be able to be updated. Which means if we want to put our firmware on here, we'll probably have to replace the LCD. The good news is we probably already have a mount and everything to bolt that LCD onto this. The question is the board one that we can easily change firmware on? So I'm going to auto home this. Let's see what it does here.
Here I thought the bamboo hot end was beefy.
I mean, this is like, I'm looking here, like what kind of fan does this have? There's a stepper motor here. Oh, all this big hot end, there's a 4010 blower in here. Is that 4010? Oh, 4020? No, hang on. 4024? Is it a thicker one? We're gonna have to take the hot end apart because I want to see what fan it is. It looks like it might be a little bit bigger than the other fans. There's a little like 25 millimeter or 30 millimeter fan on the heatsink, but there's the layer fans right here. This is the stepper motor up here.
Actually, yeah. Is it end stops or sensorless?
There's end stops. Okay. There's an end stop for X on the hot end here. Okay, so let me see what they say. I'm assuming since it's got, okay, so operation and use. They're saying here, we got to select leveling. Okay, well, this is a CR touch. This is going to take forever. Auto Z offset in progress, it says right here. Nozzle cleaning and then nozzle auto Z offset. So we're going to have to let this go through its calibration.
Do they have a wiper somewhere?
What?
Do they have a wiper?
I don't know. I was probably just going to like go and like move it. I totally forgot to print the end of day form for Matthew. Hang on, I'm doing that right now. That was the Jetson sound was our shop doorbell. He's probably gonna message me. All right. So it's heating the nozzle. Yeah, there's a strain gauge in the bed, which honestly I prefer it in the bed than the hot end because the bed is going to be easier to deal with upgrades on the hot end side than if it was on the hot end. Oh, hey, look at the most generic SD card ever. Super generic.
Get open and I'm betting there's a micro SD card inside of it.
Probably, I've seen that before. All right, so the nozzle's heating. Hang on, I'll make you big here. Here you go, Tor.
I was just printing some braces.
Why are you like you're like 5 pixels for some reason?
Fine on my end.
Oh yeah, because it's showing you the preview. No, it's fine. It was okay. It's still heating. All right, go ahead and you can show. There you go.
Some test prints.
What are those
Lots
for?
of retractions. It's for the blaster, for the Nerf blaster.
Oh, okay.
Forgot what they're called. Full front plates to protect it.
Did y'all? Well, let's wait for this. Did y'all hear about the issues where you can actually connect to somebody else's printer? Hey, Bamboo did that today.
Yeah.
You sent me a screenshot of that where somebody saw someone else's camera in their Bamboo app. which is one of the reasons I don't like cloud shit, because stuff like that can happen. Even Ubiquity, which I like their network hardware, I do not like their cameras. But even they had an issue where people's cameras were showing up in other people's consoles and stuff. So yeah, I'm good on all this cloud shit. Like, no, I'm good.
Just sent a file to my A1. Looked at the camera to see what it was doing. Not my build plate, not my country. Edit. I just checked again. I still have their camera view. Better camera view than my A1 has.
Yeah. Where's the? Well, this is probably gonna. Why is this taking forever to heat up? I don't like wanna. I don't want to see if it's like actually getting warm. Like, no, it is. I feel heat coming off the block. I don't know how hot it's gonna get. I'm gonna see. I should have some filament laying around here. Oh, I have. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab my roll of Loyal Moses PLA for our test run here.
I love Moses' PLA. It prints so well.
It might need a PID tune. I mean, it doesn't show me any status on what the hot end's doing right now, other than it says it's heating. Okay, now it says nozzle cleaning. What does that mean? It's not moving. Not doing anything. Oh, let's see. Okay, it's touching off on the plate here. Yeah, the nozzle cleaning is literally just wiping the nozzle on the left side of the bed. So I'm assuming the left side of the bed is just going to like
get destroyed like the bamboo plates.
Yeah. It's like a sacrificial area. Okay, so now we're doing now we're doing a auto bed leveling. So this will probably take forever since it's a CR touch.
3D experience for the Loyal Moses PLA. It was a color they did before, but they discontinued, and Loyal really loved it. So we worked with them to get it back.
Okay, so we did that. Now we're coming back over here. Now we're touching the bed with the strain gauge. Okay. Now we're homing XY. We have not made a bed mesh yet. Okay, we just homed Z again. So we're going to take a bed mesh now. Nope. What are we doing? Nozzle auto Z offset. I hit level bed.
Is it homing directly on the screw?
It's pretty close. So now we're homing XY again. Why is it doing it so many times? Is it just like checking? So it's getting one reading from the bed here, which I think that looks like a G28Z. And is it going to do a mesh after it gets the offset, after it figures out that it's offset? Is that what we're doing here? Okay, the layer fan just kicked on. It's pretty noisy. Man, as these printers try and automate more and more, they take longer and longer to actually do anything.
Every smart feature you add adds a couple minutes of startup time.
Yeah, seriously. They did see a Z offset menu though, so I can override what they have set, which is good. That was my big complaint about the Bamboo is, well, I can, like, there's nothing more frustrating than looking at your printer and knowing that it's doing the wrong thing, and then you can't even do anything about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you're too far from the bed. Let me baby step it. Oh, wait, you don't give us that option. That's like my one complaint about the X1 for now. But I haven't put much time on it because every time I go to start it, well, not every time, but most of the time when I go to start it, it's off the bed too far. And I got to restart it. And eventually I just get frustrated. I go run the job on another printer that just works. So maybe mine has something wrong with it. I don't know. It's frustrating. Okay, so now we're taking another Z reading. Are we going to generate our bed mesh? Dave's saying, I know you can't. Yeah, Dave, I'm talking about live. There we go. Now we're getting a bed mesh. I want live offset editing. Having to put in the slicer literally is useless for me. Oh, they're running a 4x4 grid, it looks like. Do you see it filling in the values here?
How warped is the bed? That's what I want to know.
I mean, it looks about what I expect from a Creality bed. We're down in the front left. We're okay in the center here. Yeah, basically the center is higher. The center is basically higher than the outer edge. So this is negative 0.46 in this corner. This is up 0.03 and down 0.03. This corner is down 0.56. Yeah, so it's a Creality bed, so it's higher in the center than it is on the outside.
Wondering if the Auto Z strain gauge or whatever it is.
No, it's pretty off on all of them. I mean, I assume that it's got 3 other points. I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference with the bed rigidity. This is really long. All right, well, what does it say? So it'll say the value displayed in green indicating the platform is level. Value displayed in blue indicates the platform is relatively leveled, and the value displayed in yellow indicating the platform is slightly inclined. Red means it's significantly inclined. Well, I have one blue one, so I'm just going to confirm this. I mean, it's not like I can do anything. They don't give you adjustments, but you have the ABL sensor. That's what's supposed to do it. So at this point, that's it. That's all they tell you. They tell you to go download their crappy knockoff of Kira. We're going to see if there's anything on the SD card. I think, yeah, it's right here on the side. It does have a USB-C port. I'm wondering if this is the same board that's in the S1 series. All right, I'm going to print here.
Jonathan, the cats are probably in the living room.
There's the card. There's nothing. Either the card's not reading. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. Hey, cat. Well, calibration. Do we want to do calibration on or off? Okay, so elapsed time 1 hour 50 minutes. Filament used 6.4 meters. Layer height. This is kind of neat. I do like this. I'm going to turn calibration on just to give it the best chance, and I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. Now they have a tune menu here, which I hit, and it's pausing. I wonder if it's because this is serial. It's probably waiting for. It's probably waiting for this to finish. I'm assuming it'll catch up once this is done running whatever G code command.
This comment misses balls is what Blasto just asked. Wondering where they're at.
Okay, so it's doing a G29. I think. Is it? So a touchdown over here. It just took a reading there. I'm assuming it's going to touch the corner now. Oh, no? Are we just doing a 4-point corner leveling? Is that all we're doing?
Howdy, Charles.
We're doing a 4-point level? Is that what we're doing? It looks like that's what we're doing. I hope they release the source code for this so we can, because I can definitely make this thing run faster even with the CR Touch on here.
Yeah, Camp is pretty nice, David. I like using that on my Clipper machines. Rhino, yes, I have the slab, the lever action.
Okay, so here we do have Z offset, we do have fan speed, bed temp, printing speed. So we have the basics. This screen does get a little putsy when it's doing stuff. I mean, there's not a ton of adjustments, but I don't dislike the layout of this. This definitely is a different layout from the other screens I've seen. Again, I don't think we'll be able to do much with this firmware wise, like most of the other ones, but I don't dislike it. We'll see if we have options for like steps per millimeter and other stuff. We are heating up. I think we're waiting to get to temp because we're at 198 out of 200. 197. Yeah, this definitely needs a PID tune. 197 out of 200. 198. We're going to hit 200. Yeah, it definitely needs a PID tune. It's getting there. Okay, we're at 200. The bed's overshooting by 1 to 2 degrees. The bed is warm. All right. Okay, it's doing a purge line. We'll see. Now, this is supposed to have, I'm going to bring the offset up here just in case.
David,
the
KE
offset looks
is
okay.
$65 more than the SE.
I'm going to go down just a little bit. Let's see. So I'm going to get a little more squish here. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. Okay. I mean, I could live with this stock screen if I had to. Honestly, I think what we might be getting to a point where for machines that the manufacturer does provide the source code is basically just releasing improved firmware instead of having to do a complete rewrite. If they release the source code, that's the big thing. The problem with these color screens is when you want to move to a newer version of Marlin is trying to carry over the manufacturer's changes they made to Marlin in order to support their screen, right? So if you wanted to update to a newer version of Marlin to get more features, maybe fix a bug, you basically have to carry over all those features because most of these manufacturers do not keep their software updated. Like we do more updates to our firmware that we have for different printers than manufacturers do. So, yeah, you can go back and see when we started print. So I would time it from whenever I went on the LCD and I told it confirm. That would be the fair estimate. I can definitely say though, like my older printers here running our stuff definitely start prints a lot faster. That Z offset feature though is nice. It did get it really close. I'll give it that. It did get it really close. I do like that. So far though, aside from the slow startup time, the out of the box experience is actually pretty good. What do you guys think? You know, but is an average user going to realize that it's slow? Like we realize it's slow because we have other machines to compare it to, but like a beginner user, they might not even think anything of it. It is printing. Let's see here. I'll try to get this locked in here. And if this is, it's not as loud as the K1 or the Bamboo. I don't think I've ever had a printer as loud as the K1. The K1 is super loud. So is the X1. The X1's loud as shit. They're both loud.
Yeah, when I turn all the auxiliary fan and the exhaust fan on, the P1S is pretty.
Yeah, I mean, this seems to be printing pretty good. It's moving. Yeah, so the KE is the Clipper one. This is the Marlin base one, and this one's under $200. I think I paid $190 for this direct from their site. The Clipper one is like $80 to $100 more because they have to have the SBC and the touchscreen and everything for Clipper.
From what I just checked, it was $200 for this version, $265 for the Clipper.
Okay, so $65 more for the Clipper. So if you're somebody that likes to play with Clipper, the KE is probably going to be what you're going to want. I mean, this is pretty good out of the box. We'll see. I'm gonna have to run. I'm not gonna do it on this stream. I'm gonna run their test print. I'd be really curious to see though how the bridging is and the overhangs are with the stock cooling, because a lot of manufacturers, especially on the budget printers, that's where they fall short is the stock cooling, which we usually step in and fix that. Yeah, it's funny how all these people like start. They have like all the bamboos and like we have, I remember the Creality gives people freaking out about like their printer making any sort of noise, and now we have these printers that are super loud, and now it's okay since it's the new hype thing. Like it's So weird.
Yeah, I really hated everyone putting Noctuas and stuff on their hot
And then
ends.
getting heat creep.
That is not what those fans are for.
Yeah, they have. I know somebody's gonna chime in. Well, actually, they have printer fans now. They do. They release their 24-volt fans. I don't think they're very high flow though. They're higher than the ones people are using, so they might be okay. But again, for the price, like
You'll have to use
they're
like
pretty
5
expensive.
adapter cables. even
Yeah,
though
I
they're
saw
breakers.
that.
It's like
Yeah.
you have to use the extension. You have to use the
Yeah.
converter.
It is printing well. You can tell though they have a lot of detail on the edges of that model because it's slowing down. It's slowing down on the edges there. It's doing the thing though. It says I kind of miss the noise when they were silent. Stepper noise kind of sounds like some sort of music. I mean, it kind of is. It's basically emitting pulses or frequencies to the motors to get them to move. They're just usually in our inaudible spectrum. I mean, I do kind of miss like when like the noise when I would have a couple printers running with the old 4988 drivers before Trinamics became a thing. You know, I can kind of tell what the printer was doing based on the sounds it was making. You know, like the bed leveling, printing, if it's doing a curve, you know, if just the X was moving, if just the Y was moving, if it was doing a 45-degree angle, you know, you kind of get used to the sounds of the machines. This one is about as loud as I would expect a Trinamic printer to be. I'm going to assume that it has Trinamic on it. So, but we'll see. This is a pretty aggressive test file. So I don't know why it's got so many top layers, unless it's going to be hollow. It's going to print the cat and it's going to be hollow. Yeah, vase mode, when you're on the older drivers, it'd be like singing you a song. I didn't mind it. Then again, I also grew up working with a lot of data centers and stuff. You know, so I didn't mind fan noise. I didn't mind like, you know, the stepper noises. Like, it didn't bother me. It does seem like it's over. It does seem like it's over extruding a tiny bit. Maybe it's hard to tell.
A little bit on the edge.
I will say it's not. It's not that easy to see the hot end on here though, or the nozzle. Like you have to get down low. Like the fan duct is in the way. While we're waiting for this to print, yeah, okay, so it's hollow on the inside. So that's why I was doing top layers. The layering looks good. The extrusion's keeping up. I mean, it's doing the thing. I mean, the autos, like here's the thing, the auto Z off, like, so if you look at the skirt on here, it was that thing figuring out its own offset. That was pretty good. Like that would have stuck. I like to squish a little more, but it does give you the option to adjust it. Why am I yawning again? I might have to go get some water. I got the little energy pod things. Got it from Aldi. Let's see, 75 milligrams of caffeine per serving. What's a serving? Is that? Well,
I'm doing 114.
We're gonna go fill this up with water while this is printing. I'll just shotgun the flavoring. That'll be great.
I've done that before on accident.
Is my microphone working all the way out here?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, wow.
I still have Maw.
I gotta order some more. I've been out for a bit, but I also have like I've been trying like other sorts of random caffeinated flavor things and powders and stuff.
Still have my collection of Maw.
Yeah, there's sucralose and freaking everything now. Is this sucralose? I'm looking here. Oh, this actually has guarana extract in it, which is where the caffeine comes from. I like guarana.
Oh, it is doing hollow, yeah.
Yeah, the cat model is usually hollow on the inside.
Howdy, medic.
I'm trying to see what this has for. Oh yeah, less than 2% of sucralose. Yep.
Yeah, our mills. I usually do like for my soda stream bottles. I have to do 3 scoops. For the melon, I do 2.
It is moving. I will say they do have this tuned to run pretty quick. So with a good slicer profile, you could probably get this machine running pretty good. Why are there zits on the print? There's no zits.
That's the cat hair.
Yeah, that's the model. That's why when it goes around the outside here, it's slowing down because it's got to go like and make all those little details.
Wouldn't it be amazing if this was Decapi Cat?
That'd be funny. I mean, I think it's the same model. I mean, for old time's sake, I could just knock the print head out of the way when we get to the neck.
Yeah, but I'm...
If we want to live the olden days of the CR10 groups where the head would get chopped off because the G-code file was corrupt. What am I using for slicers these days? I am using Prusa Slicer. I actually wrote a program and it actually works. I might put it on our site. I've been using it to actually send profiles to customers. I have a program that not only. So let me explain the issue. Prusa Slicer, you can export your entire config bundle, which is your filaments, your print settings, and your printers. You can export your printer config, but then you also don't have the filament settings and the print settings, which is like your layer heights and infill types, that kind of stuff. So I made a program that you can put all your INI files for the filament, for the print settings, and the printers into a certain folder structure for each one of those things, and then send that to somebody with the exe file in that same folder as that folder structure, and it will then present you with all the options of what it detected in there, your print settings, the filament settings, and the printers. And then once you select what you want, you can click install, and it will copy the profiles to the application data folder for Prusa Slicer. So basically what I can do is send people pre-built profiles of the filament, the print settings, and the printer, all 3 things you need for a successful print. Whereas like when I built a printer for a customer, I could only send them the Prusa Slicer printer config, because if I export the config bundle, they're getting all my billions of printers in that one config file and all the filaments and stuff. Maybe I only want to send them that printer and PETG and PLA, or only that printer, PETG, PLA, TPU, ABS. And maybe I don't want to send them like the 0.2 layer height, 80 millimeter second profile along with the 0.3, like, yeah. So like, there's no real good way right now built in the Prusa Slicer to export just one printer, or there's just one printer, but just one printer along with print settings and filaments. You have to basically export just the printer, or all of the printers and all of the configs. So if you guys have, if you actually go in your app data folder on your computer, so actually pull this up and show you. So if I go into the app data folder on here, let me see. So here's my app data folder. If I go to Prusa Slicer, if we look in here, there's print. So this is the INI file. So I name my files in a way where it's the layer height dash the print speed. So like this is my 0.2 80 millimeter second, 0.2 60, 0.2 100, 0.2 120, and then I have 0.3 80 and 0.5 80 for my printers that have the bigger nozzles. Now for my printers, if I go into printer here, these are like all the profiles I have just on this computer. Okay.
Gosh, I see it on the preview, but I don't see it on stream.
What do you mean?
The
it says I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, I see it in the preview, but it's on YouTube. I have it up on the other monitor just to verify. It's not showing.
Okay, let me try this again. Okay, screen. Here, let me just try sharing the whole screen. Let's try this. Okay. Does this work?
There we go.
Okay. So this is my roaming. So app data roaming. You can get here by going just %app data percent slash Prusa slicer. Okay, so if you type that into your run command, it'll take you right to your Prusa slicer folder. So your user settings are stored in here. So you can see here for filament, I've got ABS, China made PLA, PETG, PLA-IS, which is the input shaping profile, TPU, and then USA PLA. The only difference between these two is the temperatures they're at, because the US made stuff typically runs a little hotter. If we go here to print, these are again the print settings I was talking about. So these are all my different print settings. So my layer height followed by speed. So that's how I name my stuff. So I know this is a 0.2 80 millimeter second profile. And then if I go into printer, these are all the printer profiles I have on this computer. So I can take all of these and then put them into this program. Let me see if I can get a quick copy of the program here. I have like a beta of it. And I'm going to move all my profiles in. Just watch it not work on stream. Maybe my luck, but I'm going to try it. It's not released at all. I'm still messing with it. So I'm calling it easy profiles, and I will release the source code. It's written in C#. But I'm not going to release it until it's at least working for the most part. So, all right. So I'm going to move all of my profiles. So here, I'm going to show this. So this is my easy slicer profile thing. So how it works is inside the folder with the easy profile.exe, we have a profiles folder. So filaments for filament. So I'm going to move all these out of here. And then I'm going to put all the printer ones here. So I'm going to move all these printers here into here. So I actually have it sorted by brand. So AM8 is going to go in a custom one here. We got the Enders. Let's see, Ender 5, Ender 6. All right, so we're going to put these in the Creality folder. And then I got my S8 here. So Sunlu S8. And then we got my Sovols here. Put this in there. And then I've got the Optimus P1, which is that big printer build I did. So that's a custom one. We're going to put that in there. And then I have the Ziltech. So these are all the printer profiles I have on my computer. So I'm going to move all these in here. And I think the last thing I need to do is, so print, I'm going to move over my print settings here. These will all be gone. So now I'm going to open Prusa Slicer, and these should all be gone now. We can't see anything. Wait, what?
I can see it.
Okay.
I think they were just behind.
Okay. Okay, so if you look here, there's nothing in here. Default FFF, default. I have no profiles in here, right? So you see there's absolutely no profiles here. So I'm going to close Prusa Slicer. I'm going to run easyprofiles.exe. Oh, I need .NET. I haven't installed it on here. Hang on. I'll have to add that to the prerequisites. I had .NET on the other computer I used. Hey, at least it tells you.
Yeah, the print's still.
Yeah,
we have time.
I'm installing it right now.
Pops around.
All right. Let's see. So we run the easy profiles here. And you can see here, here's all the printers here. So let's say I want to have the Ender 5S1, and I want the PLA, the PETG, and then I want the 100, the 120, the 80, and the 0.3. So I want all these. I'm going to hit install selected profiles. It says they're installed successfully. See the files show up there? I'm going to open Prusa Slicer here. And look at that. Everything I selected is in here. So
Easy.
I'm just gonna put everything in here. Now I do want to have like a select all thing. I was having issues with it like looping through and doing things correctly, so that's why it's not in there. So I'm gonna click all these here. So I'm gonna install all the Creality profiles. I'm gonna go here, go to Sovol, put all the Sovol profiles in. I'm gonna go to Sunlu, put the Sunlu profiles in. And then I want the Ziltech, put the gear in there. And then I actually don't need the Optimus one, but I'll put my AM8 in there. Okay, so those are all installed. I'm going to close this, and now I'm going to go to Prusa Slicer, and all my stuff should be back. Look at that. Wow, something actually worked on stream live when I'm trying to demo something that's a beta. So yeah, the cool thing is other programs like Orca Slicer that also use the same kind of folder structure, or Super Slicer, adapting it to other slicers wouldn't be that hard. The other thing too I'd like to do, and I'm going to work on this with my brother Doug because he has experience in coding C# apps, is I want to have it so for the profiles, I want to have it pulled down from a GitHub repository and pull the profiles on so we can have a GitHub with all of our Prusa Slicer profiles. And when you download the Easy Slicer or the Easy Profiles app, it will then pull the latest profiles from our website or our GitHub repo and then extract them and then be able to give you an option to install them. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. And I can't believe there's no option in Prusa Slicer to export like all these settings. Yeah. Like let me export this filament, this printer, and this profile. This thing is moving. You see how I just noticed how quick it was moving around there. It's coming out good though.
Yeah, it's looking really good. I love that filament. Oh yeah, I do.
But yeah, so that was something I made. That program I whipped up at like I don't know.
I think it was like 4 a.m.
It was like 4 a.m. the other day. I was up dealing with our suppliers, and I was waiting to hear back from them, and I was bored. And I was frustrated at not being able to easily send customers and people profiles to install in Prusa Slicer. But now it's so easy. Like for example, like when we do printer repairs and upgrades, I can now just send them a zip file with the Easy Profiles app, and I'll probably put the link to the .NET or .NET 8 desktop installer. So if they have it, it'll just be right there, part of the package. And then basically, I can just send it to them and give them just the profiles for their printer and just tell them check all the boxes and hit install. You know, and then boom, they have all the profiles, and just go ahead, install Prusa Slicer, open it at least once, run through the initial setup, and then boom, you can have all my profiles. So let's see. Dragtail says, ever since you did that solo essay and unboxing, I've been tempted to get one as a larger bed printer. I've been using it. It's in here. I got a 0.6 in it, and it's added to my fleet. It's actually our dedicated 8-bit testing printer for our firmware, but it's been running good. The LCD does get a little slow running input shaping, but that's mainly because of the 8-bit board, but it does print fine. So if you can live with the LCD being a little slow when you're running more advanced features on there, it does work. There's also a lot of people that are putting our EasyBoard V2 in there. I think I've had at least 5 people in the last month convert theirs over. And actually, probably going to put the Chiron on my bench in here because we just put an EasyBoard in that. So look who doesn't have his donut to shame on anymore. It's this guy.
Big baby.
The big baby. He's recovered from the bull surgery. He's very happy to not be cooped up anymore, aren't you, Comet? Who's okay with us killing this this print? Actually, let me pull up the cloud bot. Let everybody vote on that. Damn it, we pay for Streamlabs. We're gonna use Streamlabs. All right, let's see. I'm gonna log in here. Sunlu stopped making printers or clearing the stock. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Their printers weren't bad, but they never really they're more in the accessories. And I mean, like even us, we don't sell printers, but like what kind of accessories we're doing for the machines has changed since, they're all coming with auto bed leveling. Maybe we'll have like a retrofit kit to get rid of the CR Touch or BL Touch. But as the problem is as these printers get more and more integrated and they don't release source code, and they're locking it down. Like the most frustrating part right now I see with the market is it has actually nothing to do with Bamboo. It has everything to do with the fact that there's all these companies making these Clipper machines that make it easy to get into playing with Clipper, but then they lock the damn hardware out where you can't actually really mess with Clipper that much. I did actually see, and I feel like hell's gonna freeze over, but I kind of was almost wanting to buy one of those two trees the SK2s or
The
SK1.
$300 ones from.
They run just Clipper. They have fluid pre-installed and they have Clipper screen. Like it's literally a vanilla Clipper install. Like I was watching a video on it.
Did it take so long for everybody to get onto that?
But my whole thing is like, look at the Sonic Pad, which is it is literally sitting on the floor, new in box because it sucks. This is a Sonic Pad. It's brand new. I'm probably never going to use it. Someone gave it to me because they didn't want to use it. Like these like bastardized Clipper machines are very frustrating because we should have access to do whatever we want to the machines. Like yeah. You can put Debian on a Sonic Pad. Send me a link because if I can basically take over that device, the hardware is fine. It's the damn software that sucks on it. And like it's just sucked since it came out, so I haven't even looked into doing anything with it because I didn't think it was worth doing anything. Yeah, if you're also, if you guys want to post chat or links in chat, you can't do it on the live stream platforms. However, there is a live streams channel in our Discord server, and you guys can go ahead and post it in there. I'm going to go ahead and post a link to that if you're going to join right in. That link will take you right into the live streams one. And somebody posted a thing asking questions. Yeah, like so JDCCC26 posted a link to the Creality K1 stuff. So if there's stuff you want to share with me, I'm not the end all be all knowing. I don't know everything. Especially on these machines that I haven't got my hands on. If you guys know stuff about it, feel free to share. I'd love to share stuff with other people. Yeah, for the only good Clipper pad, look at, I'm recommending a Big Tree Tech product. I've played with this. I like this. This is what I want from a Clipper pad. This right here, the Big Tree Tech Pad 7. Okay. I have not actually bought anything from them. We don't sell anything from them. Not yet. I would like to get these in for sale. The Clipper, is that Clipper Touch thing they're coming out with, which is like basically the Panda Touch. It's just a different software. That's not this, right? That's just a controller. This is not like run your printer type of thing, right? Because I saw them talking about that.
Would be something different, I believe.
Okay.
It doesn't run the same hardware.
So the Pad 7 is still a relevant thing, is what I'm getting at. They don't have like a new one that's replaced it yet. Oh yeah, I got ADHD moment here. All right, hang on. Polls, CloudBot.
They did say you can run it for Clipper as well, but I'm not sure. You'd have to like reflash it for everything. Not sure if it would work as a wireless head.
Oh, that's what I mean. So there's no thing to plug it in. So the Clipper Pad or the Clipper Touch and the Panda Touch, Luke said in their video, they're the same hardware. You can flash between the two. They're the same exact hardware. So you can flash the Clipper Touch to be a Panda Touch, and you can flash the Panda Touch to be a Clipper. It's the same hardware, it's just what software they come off.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put on here. We're going to start this poll. All right.
Yes.
Yep.
Or no?
Go ahead and vote. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at this GitHub here. Ported Debian for the Sonic Pad. Okay. If I can wipe this out.
You just got Tim excited.
I am excited now. Because basically what I want to be able to do is say, fuck all your shit that Creality has on here. I just want straight Clipper. I just want regular old, give me Linux with Clipper on it. Like, use the Kiwa, KIUH, the helper thing. Like put Linux on there, run the installer script. That's it. That's all I want. Like, I want to be able to do that. So known bugs, incorrect interface shown in Clipper screen. I'm assuming that's like the Ethernet interface. That's not a big deal. Current IP doesn't show. Whatever.
There's ways to figure that out.
So I need an A to A cable. I actually have some downstairs. So we download the latest image release, flash the Sonic Pad. Oh, they finally released the Sonic Pad firmware.
The source?
Yeah. Wait, no, maybe. Hang on. They have tools, images. Oh no, it's just image files. So it's not source, but they did release files
Compiled.
here. They said in Clipper screen, configure Wi-Fi, get the IP of the pad, SSH into the pad, expand your partition, install the front of your choice using Kaiua. And then optionally, if you're planning on compiling or measuring resonance, install the following packages. So this is pretty cool. I wonder what we could get if this is able to just wipe out the Creality crap on here and turn this into basically like what the Pad 7 is, and it can be had cheaper than the Pad 7. This would be something that I'd actually be interested in carrying like with us opening them, pre-installing the straight Clipper software. Because the Pad 7 is nice, but it's not very cheap. All right. The voting is working. Let's see. I don't know why it says use vote to vote command. Wait, options. Let's see. You know, I feel like maybe we're overdue for a Hangout stream, and I feel like screwing with the the Sonic Pad would be a good one. Okay, chat, start just typing random crap. I want to see if the CloudBot's going to actually post the correct things. Hey, look, it actually did that. Okay, so their stock thing was wrong. So see, it says vote yes or no to vote. Okay, that is working. Go ahead and try it. Let's see if it just works. Every chat lines, every 5 messages, it should post what poll is going on. Just type chat, be like, hi, what's up? Yeah, there you go. This bonk. Okay, it's working. All right, so I fixed it. I think, is it annoying to have it every 5 if we have a poll going? I feel like that's actually not that annoying.
I would do like every 8 to 10 or so.
10 was a little too much. I think I had it for 15. Okay, so there was something wrong with it. All right, so I'm going to close the poll in 30 seconds here. We're at 4 minutes, 30 seconds right now, so it'll be 5 minutes. It's printing nice. Like I'm happy with. Like I'm really impressed so far. I'm really thinking about what we can do software-wise for this while retaining the factory screen. Like I said, like I feel like in general we're probably going to move more towards instead of like unified. Like we're going to keep doing unified 2 firmware for a while. But when we start getting more printers, especially like with the Clipper ones, we might have to start moving to a more one-off firmwares for specific printer models. Even though it's going to be more work, it would mean more targeted support for like different screens and stuff, that kind of thing. So at a certain point, Unified 2, because of the way the printers are going, is not going to be really able to be used for that much in terms of new machines. It'd be mostly for older machines. And DIY stuff. Maybe Unified will make a pivot more towards DIY stuff. I know Scott is planning on doing a firmware release. I'm gonna check and see if he did, but I know the next Marlin it hasn't been updated in a while. Yeah, it's still on 2.1.2.1, and our firmware's on 2.1.2 with some stuff from 2.1.2.1 as well as bug fix. So we're kind of like in the middle. All right, I kept talking. All right. We're going to go ahead and close the poll. All right.
Guessing everybody wants to kill the cat.
Let's see here. Drum roll, please.
Oh wait, can I do?
Did it not post? What was that?
You can
A soundboard?
Yeah, we have a soundboard.
Oh.
The drum roll.
Oh. Why did it not post win message? Blank was the most fun. Okay. It didn't show. Oh, I have to hit complete. Is it going to show it now? There we go.
What is that percentage?
I was just thinking that.
What is that percentage? What?
All right. Well, we're almost to the head. So you know what that means, right?
I had. Where's my decapicat?
Oh no. Tor, look it's printing an error. And if we want to do proper decapitate, I gotta smack it back over.
Smack it back in.
There we go. There we go. We're reincarnating decapicat. All right, let's test it. Let's test the power loss recovery. I'm assuming it has it. Most of them do. All right, I turned it off. Let's see what it does. Oh, unexpected loss. Continue. What happens when I hit continue?
And a home X and Y to figure itself out, or just
Yeah, I'm gonna see how bad this. Because it didn't print an error for much when I smacked the head over. It's probably the same Marlin power loss recovery.
yeah, just restarts the last layer.
Yeah, so 85% of people said kill it. So you guys won. I'm actually just gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that poll in here. You can actually have multiple polls stored in the CloudBot. All right, I'm going to release images. Okay. All right. I'm gonna fork this on GitHub so I have a copy of it in case this guy decides to ever pull it down. Fork you. And forked. Forking. All right, let's see. It's doing the thing. It did what I thought it would. It did actually resume fairly correctly where it should be. So it does work. All right, but we don't care about that. All right, let me unload the filament. Oh, Tor, what does this not have on it? There's no filament sensor. Oh. There's no filament sensor. So
I mean, they probably had to use that pin for the bed.
we'll find out. I'm very handy. How fun it'd be if we have to go back to using the old easy out boards to get an extra pin. That is stuck on there pretty good. All right, let's just
metal plate.
It is it's with their sticker on it. So yeah, the print quality is good, really good, really good. Tor, you can mute. There we go. Tor, we have a call coming in, so Tor's going to grab that. All right. What are the downsides of doing streams at random times? All right, let's see if I can get this off the bed. All right, that was stuck up there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these. I'll probably end up putting our flex plate on here. And Creality, I noticed, is like doing all these like divot alignment tab things. And the thing is, like, I noticed most of their printers that have them, they're not all in the same spot. So the 235 by 235 plates we sell will fit this. You just would have to unscrew these little things here. And I'm actually going to work on making a printable part where it'll just, you screw this in from the bottom, and there'll be a little lip sticking up at the back, so you can still have something if you want an alignment on there. But we were talking about when we were just making a bunch of flex plate designs. Be like, do we want to have a billion versions? Like, we're gonna have to have a billion versions of basically the same size flex plate? Like, no, it doesn't make sense to do that. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna flip this up on its side here, and we're gonna start getting in here and seeing what they did underneath. A small piece of metal. I could try to see if I could source something that would do that. A little ABS bracket would be just as good too. Really? Okay, well, that screw head wanted to strip out. I'll have to try to get out with my my ball end set that I have. Ugh. You dropped the screw. It didn't go on the floor though. Yeah, we're gonna need to. All right, let's see if I can get this out with my ball end set. Try this other side here. There we go. Okay. They really tightened that one down. Okay. There is a fan connected on here with a ton of hot snot. All right, what kind of board is this? We got a knockoff processor, which I'm not even surprised. We do have ferrules. Are we finally in an age where we're going to have ferrules on our connectors? I'm okay with this. That's beautiful. We do have we have a J7, we have a J14 plug on here, which looks very similar to the what's the word I'm looking for? To the S1 boards, the Ender 5 S1 and the Ender 3 S1. But again, like, why do we have a million different boards? They also forgot to put a screw in right here. Let's get you guys in here. They forgot to put a screw in. Right there. There's a screw missing. But yeah, Giga device. This is it's a RET GD32F303 RET6. So this is a processor I'm familiar with, and this usually can run the STM32F103 code, which is good. I'm just looking at other headers on here, like what they have. So it's got an LCD header down here. There's also another LCD header, right? My head's blocking it. Down at the bottom here for like the touch screens. But this has a 10-pin. I would say it's probably a pretty good chance that we can get our firmware on this printer. There's a low chance, though, that it would be able to be used with the stock screen, though. We do have the bed temp here. This is height, so this is probably the sensor for the Z height. That'll be interesting. I don't know how they're doing this, so I would have to figure out how they're doing that. That's the main thing, is retaining that auto Z offset, because that's a cool feature. We have a motor. This is probably a motor connection going here. This goes to the hot end. This is probably going up to the motor. So this is like a 6-pin, it looks like, or 8-pin. They got the heated bed wires here. I mean, this all looks really good. They did a good job on this. Like, this is really impressive for a $200 machine.
They even have ferrules?
They have ferrules. There's little ferrites on the motor connections for some reason. I don't know why they're doing this unless they're trying to cut down on noise. It is a knockoff processor. I mean, this looks like something we could probably get our firmware on. I was just telling everybody. The biggest thing is going to be getting support and seeing how they did the code for this. Like, that's why I'd like to see their source, because I don't know if Marlin actually supports an auto Z height out of the box. It might be something Reality coded into Marlin themselves.
That might be why they haven't released the source. because
Well,
they're still.
if it's running Marlin, they have to. They don't have an option.
I mean, it's Creality. They add like It's the same thing they did with the Power Zoom. They didn't release it for ages.
Well, and we were the
tinkering.
ones that got them to release the Power Resume after everybody told us it never would happen. Well, we fucking did. So, Creality, like, I want to be your cheerleader here. Bamboo's hot on your heels. Come on. Release the code so we can make your printer better, because I can definitely speed this sucker up. I'm going to plug this in to USB and see what we get. Now, did they isolate the 5 volt? They did. It's not plugging in.
Not powering on when you plug it in.
No, it's not powering on when I plug the USB. That's good.
Reality is learning.
They are learning. I don't have printer face on my computer for some reason.
Never install it. I just run the exe.
I usually have the exe. Okay.
I really wish there was a good
Hang on, I gotta download
browser
it.
based. There's a few projects.
So actually, if
really
MM is cool in here, he has I thought he had one that gives you a terminal through the browser. Hey, Mike, you still in here? Mr. Mike.
I used one a while back, but it didn't. Really work.
I think that's the one that I showed you was his. Is this okay? This is printerface.exe. I don't know if he's still around here. He lurks. He doesn't chat a lot, but he does lurk. I don't know why printerface isn't in my. I usually keep it in my Nextcloud. I have a programs folder on my Nextcloud.
You download and update everything.
Yeah, I'm downloading right now. All right, I got it. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let me share here. Hey, Comet, come here.
Also, this is another completely new version of board, isn't it?
It is a completely new version of board because this is
Yeah.
this is what our relationship with Creality has come to, is this just love-hate relationship of them doing stupid shit over and over again and us just taking the abuse. They're like an abusive ex-girlfriend we keep going back to. All right. Printer face. Let's see. Let's do I'm assuming this is a COM6. Let's try the 115-200. Okay. COM3. COM503. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's definitely more. Oh, they are running input shaping on here. Tor. Can you see the window?
Yeah, stock values. Or they changed
No,
the X.
The Y. They changed the Y. 42. I think 42 is the stock.
Pretty sure 40 is.
Yeah. So here we go. Yeah, this is for sure Marlin. Let's see if it responds to the reset command.
Yeah, 40 is stock.
Is it? Okay, that was 42 they changed. Let's see if I do M502. Okay, so it does have EEPROM enabled. Let's see, M503. So this is running Marlin. Yeah, so it cleared everything out. We've got hybrid thresholds on here. I wonder if these drivers are being run in UART, which should be a step up from the S1 boards. What is it, M122?
Oh. They're all low.
It's throwing a TMC error.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it on the screen as well?
No, these screens don't support. I don't think if I do M117, 117.
What if they did?
There's nothing on the
X,
screen,
Y, and
so the
Z.
screen doesn't. And E's just in standalone mode.
And E's probably like an 84988 or something.
But the firmware's.
Because it was working.
It was working. Here's the thing, but it's throwing it. It's probably throwing a TMC error on the screen, but because the screen doesn't actually support showing status messages, you have no idea.
Can you still move
This is why we want source code to look at, see what the hell they did, because they probably, if the driver's not actually in UART mode. I don't think, no, they have M906 here. Here's a stepper driver currents. M5, I gotta look up. I think S0 is stealth chop enabled or disabled. Yeah, so here, let's see. M569S0. I'm listening to see if it's louder. It should be louder. It's not louder, but it's communicating with them. It's homing right now. I just did a G28. It's not letting me disable it. Hang on, M569S0XYZ. M503. Okay, it looks like it disabled it. Let me see, G28. Listen here if it's louder. It sounds the same. Sounds the same. Okay. That's weird. Why is it? It got rid of it here. So they're gone here. I'm just looking for all the. There's a TMC. I think it's just what is it called? I think it's just the M122 is the debug here. Hang on, let's see. Okay, so they don't have it enabled where we can get all the states here. So M122S1 should show a ton of information, but they have it disabled in the firmware. So they didn't install everything. This is one reason why, like, the thing is, a processor has enough information for storage. So I'm M122I reinitialize it, and it's throwing an error on the E. I'd be curious to know if somebody else has this printer. If you run M122, if you're getting the same output I have, because this could be a firmware misconfiguration. However, the weird thing is, though, if I turn Stealth Chop off, which is the M5, what is it, M569, I think it was. I don't know these off the top of my head because I don't usually mess with them. Yeah, M569, that should turn Stealth Chop off, which it should be a night and day difference. So that should be turning it off. And if I do a G28, I should hear a marked difference between the two modes, and I don't hear any difference. So I'm wondering if it's actually doing anything. But the other thing is, M122 is reporting that there's communication on the X, Y, and Z. Ooh, they have fade height on too. Do you see that, Tor?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm jumping between.
But this is definitely running Marlin. This is 100% for sure running Marlin. So I'm gonna just factory default it. I think that's about it. I mean, hardware wise, I do think for $200, I do think this is a pretty good buy. I definitely want to plug into this and poke its brain a little bit more. I'm gonna see if they have source code for this. If somebody found it here.
I only saw the Clipper version on their GitHub.
Yeah. So they have the firmware. They have a 106 firmware on their site. What am I running on here? I thought there was like, I don't know if there's a way to like see.
No about
Like
printer.
these screens are so. Oh, I'm gonna check and see what options we have. So control motion, we do have steps per millimeter adjustment, and we have Excel. The max Excel is set to 4,000. There's no default Excel in here, so you are losing a lot of options in this on this firmware. You can't set your you can't set your like default stuff on this. It's not an option. Let me see here. I'm just looking to see control info. I am on 104. Let's see if let's try updating the firmware. They released one. This one is released in October 106. And there's a README here. So there's a okay, so firmware update content. Okay, so you have to, it's a TJC LCD. Okay. So it's got to be, okay, so we got to update both. I'm going to go ahead and update the mainboard firmware. I'm going to find a card here. And we're going to update the LCD one. Hey, Mike's there. Mike, did you still have that project you were working on where you had like the web-based terminal for a printer? Do you still have that going on? Is that project still active? Because I'd like to show that off. And I probably am going to bookmark it, to be completely honest.
Same.
Same.
So I don't have to keep installing or grabbing Printful.
Yeah, so I'm updating the firmware here. I'm extracting their files. All right, let's see. Oh, it's in Chinese now. Oh, the screen's all fucked up now because I got to update the LCD screen. So if you ever update a printer that's got a color screen and it's all fucky after you update the mainboard firmware, you got to update the LCD firmware. I do like that they have it on the side here. This is a welcome addition, except these screens still are fucking pain in the ass. I'm going to email them and ask them for the damn source code. I'm going to be that guy again because I can do a better job at Marlin than they can. All right, so it's updating. So it is taking the update. Mike, I'm going to bug you on Telegram. Mike's on Telegram. I'm going to bug him to be like, send me the damn link to your cool little website. Hang on, where are you, Michael? I just messaged him on Telegram. He's typing. We are updating. This is super riveting content. I really would like the source code though. I'm gonna send them an email. Let's see. Serialterminal.com. All right, let's see. Share screen. Share. Let's see if this works. Connect. Oh, wait. I think I remember him telling me you have to use it in you have to use it in a different browser. I think Brave, it doesn't work in Brave. I have to use it in like Edge or Chrome or something. Yeah, he just messaged me Chrome or Edge. Hang on. Let's try this again. Share screen window. Here we go. Okay, update succeeded on the printer. We're going to turn that off, pop the cards out. Turn it back on. And now we should be on the new version. All right, let's see. We're going to use Mike's thing here and see. All right, so we don't, oh, we have 115.200. Connect. Okay, I only have one serial port here. Oh, because I unplugged it.
I mean, that might be helpful.
All right, let's
We'll
see. Connect. Okay, COM3 connect. Let's see here. M503. Oh, hey, it is working. Look at that. M1122. It's still all low.
Can you zoom in a bit?
MON.
It's so tiny. There we go.
Okay, here's M115 here. Okay, Marlin. It's not going to be Marlin 106.
Yeah, no.
It is cut. Okay, so my thing was cutting it off a little bit, but that's fine. The UID. So September. Okay, yeah. So it is Marlin. This is their Creality's version. Z Pro run out 0 auto report EEPROM. Hey, they do have ARC support enabled. Let's see here. Meat packs disabled. Baby stepping is enabled. Volumetric. Oh, why do they have volumetric extrusion on? That's not a good thing. Do you remember all the issues with volumetric extrusion and why we have it completely disabled?
Well, good thing you can't mess with it with that LCD.
You can mess with it with G-code commands, though.
I mean, who knows G code commands? You just had to go look them up.
All right. I'm going to go and see how long it takes to... I'm going to leave this actually connected. And see what it does when I tell it. So I'm going through the initial steps. So language selection. It says, please make sure there are no foreign objects on the nozzle bed. Okay, it's now automatically on this new version. It's now automatically doing the calibration.
If they didn't have you agree to a EULA.
Well, there's no cloud crap on this. This is all local. So I'm curious to see what it says. I'm curious to see what it says while it's running the... So it's heating the nozzle right now. I'm probably not going to bore you guys. I am going to play with this more. I do like this machine. I just wish we had access to the source code so we could like speed up the probing, do some other options, like, or even just release a firmware that supports adding a bed leveling sensor or like the NeoPixels, even with the stock screen. So, we might not be able to update to the latest version of Marlin. However, we could add features into the version they have already. Do you know what I mean?
If it did have the...
And I'd like to know how they did... And I'd like to know how they did the Z offset with that little probe there, like how that's connected. If it's just reading an I/O pin, like when the nozzle touches the bed, it closes a sensor and it just shows up as an end stop, or yeah, that kind of stuff. So he said also, if I have a USB OTG cable, he has a new version that could possibly work on an Android phone. So you can use the terminal on your phone to your printer. That's kind of cool. But all right, all right. I'm gonna wrap this up because we've been going for 2 hours now. I try to keep that at my target here. All in all, I do like this. The auto Z offset feature does work as intended. It got it close enough. Like for a beginner, this would actually be a really good printer. I'm going to have to play with this and run some test prints, but this might be a pretty good alternative to the SV06, especially at the same price point and basically the same build volume. It also has the dual lead screws, even though it's a single motor, it does have the belt linking. So like physical build quality and features, I think I like this better than the SV06 because it's got the dual Z link, which is going to eliminate a lot of issues with people. Mike, are you messing with your site? Because my screen is changing formatting. Like he said he was messing with the CSS. Like I don't know if his site is live updating, but like my window for the terminal just like shrunk on its own. Like he must have just updated this while we were on the stream.
Here, do you have a link to post the chat for it?
Oh yeah, I'll put it in chat here. There you go. If you guys want to check that out. Oh, he said it's based on the contents of the terminal. Okay, so it's got a lot of short ones here. That's why. Okay, so when I did the M115, or it stretched it out. Yeah, the buffer cleared that very long. Okay, do you see that here? Oh, wait, hang on here. So look at this here. Clear by bed. Clear nozzle end. So that's definitely, I don't think that's a Marlin feature. That's got to be something they coded in. And we're not going to know how that works unless we have the source code. So do you see that there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's doing something here. Okay, so it's, yeah, invalid mesh. So there's no mesh. We factory reset it when we updated. Well, yeah, there, probe by touch. So that's the little Z offset sensor. Okay, do you see that? Z touch, that sounds familiar. Z press, Z offset, Z touch.
Reminds me of like Clipper stuff.
Output Z offset. So it calculated the Z offset there based on where the sensor probed and based on how far down it had to move the nozzle to trigger the Z touch sensor. That must be what they're calling it, the Z touch. So it's testing it over and over right now is what it's doing.
It'll probably average it out.
Yeah. Well, look how, so we're at negative 2.133. It was at negative 2.129. That's still pretty accurate. Output Z offset, fade height. Okay. Steve Pool's asking how the bamboo's been. I've been very frustrated with it just because when the first layer is off, I can't do anything other than cancel it, start over, and hope it gets it right.
10 minutes later.
Yeah, 10. That's yeah. Which here's the thing: screw all the lidar crap and all that other stuff they put on those printers. They have sensors in the bed just like this $200 printer has. There's no reason, if those sensors are properly calibrated and the firmware set up correctly, that it can't figure out its Z offset, no matter what plate's on there. It should just know the Z offset because it's able to infer that by touching the nozzle to the bed.
Yeah, I don't understand why they have it just in the slicer starting decode.
Yeah, I don't know either. In theory, if the nozzle's touching the bed, the Z offset should be the same no matter what plate you're using. So I think this is cooling down because it turned the fan on. All right, I'm going to hide this. I think now it's going to do the G29. This does take forever to like get its calibration. You're probably just going to want to use a stored mesh on this just because of how slow it is. Again, this is something we could improve in the firmware. Yeah, now it's doing the G29. Are you enticing your cat with treats? Oh, there they are. Oh, I didn't even see the other one. There's 2 of them there.
They're both here, and they're both on their hind legs to get to this.
Kitty, kitty, kitties. He's like, give me the food, father. Give me the food.
The tabby will actually like paw at me. He's like, give.
Yeah. Come on, give the orange one some treats. I love orange tabbies. They're so cute. Oh, do you see who's over by me right now, Tor?
Yeah, you said the T word.
I said treats. I did. I said treats. Treats? Treats are so good. I love treats. Treats. Look at Remo's head. Treats? I love treats. They're my favorite. Do you guys love treats? Okay, it's done with the mesh. Holy crap. Look at the output here. They're doing subdividing on so they're using bilinear leveling, and then they subdivide, you have the subdivided option, and then it's stored settings. So it just stored the mesh. I'm just letting this run so we can see what it's doing. I think it's done. Oh, I gotta hit continue. Oh, confirm. Oh, this new firmware version just shows the points. It doesn't actually show you what they amount to. They just give you a confirm. It just gives you a complete. So they actually give you less information on the new version. But that's it. It's let me do, if I do a prepare auto home, just says busy processing. So nothing more to write on there. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of the source code. And without the source code, you can't really do much on this. I could, now here's the thing, I could probably get firmware working with the 12864 screen on here, but I don't know if we'll be able to get the auto Z offset setting, which is, I think, kind of a killer feature of this printer, without the source code. That's the big thing. So
It's something that would be sorely missed. Unlike the Chiron.
Wait, I don't have. Do I have treats in here? I might not have treats in here. Oh no! Did I get your guys' hopes up for nothing? Am I gonna have to go walk all the way into the house to get treats for the dogs?
The Chiron Z probe was not missed. This Z probe would be sorely missed.
Yeah, this one would probably be missed. Not to say the printer couldn't run; it would just run like all the other printers we have our code on, which is just set it off manually. But I want to have that auto probe offset working. Okay, I'm gonna go in the house and get the dogs some treats so they don't kill me at night. I'll be right back. Take over the show, Tor.
Yeah, the Auto Z is just one less thing to mess with. I do like it on the bamboo printers. Like, I started that print and didn't do anything to it. Just hit send and go. Luckily, I've had a lot better luck than Tim has with his bamboo. Throw something up on that other screen so it's not purple. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. I have a bag of treats.
It's cool. It's cat Gogurt, essentially.
You
and
guys
my
want
cats
these?
actually, my cats understand how they work, so they'll squeeze
Sit.
it to get more food out that I'm giving them.
A bunch of tiny little treats.
Little puffball.
Wow, Comet actually caught that. Wow. We're getting better at catching. Wow, look at this. He doesn't want to look like an idiot on stream. Wow, we've caught every... Remo's an expert at catching. Comet's doing really good, though. Oh, first one. Remo, right as I say, he rarely misses a treat. He's usually pretty good at catching the treats. Remo, sit. Comet is
Yeah,
getting
I
better,
think
though.
the LiDAR is... They only added that to be like the big selling point.
Here's
of
a
their
bunch.
Next one
They're
before they
tiny.
brought
You
it
guys are
out
big dogs.
on
Come here.
everything else.
Oh boy.
And if you notice, none of the other printers they've come out with have had it. I wonder
Yeah,
why.
I think the LiDAR is kind of
Joke.
it's kind of a joke, to be completely honest. I don't see a real reason for it. Honestly, I might look into just disabling it and seeing if I have a better experience with it.
From what
I
I've
thought some
heard,
people said you could disable it on there.
yeah, from what I've heard, most people.
If I
who
just disconnect it,
disable
will it like bitch that it's disconnected and then still print?
Probably. Yeah, so you disable it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the LiDAR is just gimmicky. It was the gimmick to sell the printer that got them on the market.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so far, I mean, I do like this. I hope we can get source code for this. I mean, here's the thing. Legally, I bought the printer. They need to give it to me if I ask, but we know that the Chinese, they're assholes about giving the source code. Like, I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're assholes.
I think Scott has better contact with them now, so he might be able to
Yeah.
them as well.
Yeah, so but out of the box it's not bad. Like I don't know why they did this shit though. Like just for an example, so you guys can see why I'm bitching about the nozzles.
Yeah, we've had
Where'd my
three different
organizer go?
nozzles for the last like 10
Here,
years.
so
we don't need more
okay.
nozzles.
No, it's just making it more of a pain in the ass to keep parts. Okay, so I have all kinds of nozzles here. Okay, so this is the one that came with the printer. Okay, this is a volcano nozzle. Okay, so see, it's not as long as volcano. Same exact threads. Okay, same M6 threads. Here's an MK8 nozzle that most of the Corelli printers use. Same threads, just the MK8 shorter. Here's a V6 nozzle. It's longer than a V6, so you can't even use a V6 in it. So this nozzle, because they changed the length of this, now this is the only thing you can use on this printer. That's it.
And the big issue is people are going to buy those other nozzles thinking they're going to work, and they're going to
because the MK8 nozzles fit almost all the other Ender 3s. I have an MK8 nozzle on my Ender 3 S1. I have it in my Ender 3 Pro. I have it on my my CR10s. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. So we're gonna have to get another nozzle just for these printers. So I'm sure I would not be surprised to find out that the KE also uses the same style nozzle. If it uses a different nozzle, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? So
like,
is it the same as Ender? Let me look at their site and see, because I'm assuming their site would have.
I'm sure those are the
nozzles for their screens. Let me see here. Let me share this tab
for their printers.
Okay, accessories. Okay, so here, MK8 nozzles. This is the ones they sell. Like, these are ones that we've been selling. Okay, high speed with, okay, so yeah, so Spider. Customized for FDM printers. So these are the same as the Spider. These look like the ones we have in there.
Yeah, that's what somebody said in chat.
So, yeah, we're going to have to get, and these are copper alloy nozzles. That's not bad.
Oh, they even included the specs for other companies to clone.
Yeah. Yeah, so here, see, this is a 9mm length. It is an M6 thread. So that looks like, is that 9? I'm going to measure it right now and see. Is that 9mm? It is. So it's the same as the Spider nozzles. Why they have to do it like that, I don't know. Why would you just not use the MK8s? There's really no point other than forcing people to buy your
yet another
MK8
style.
nozzles. Like, this is another MK8. Like, this looks slightly different. It's just a different tip, but this is an MK8 nozzle. Like you can see here, it'll fit the Ender 3, Ender 3 Pro. Like, why didn't they just use these in there? Like, these are basically just MK8 nozzles. So it's the same as the Spider hot end. That's
you get the added benefit of having a little bit more melt zone, but
yeah,
don't need 30 different types of nozzles. It's just going to confuse people, especially since you named the printers the exact same thing for the last 7 years.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Dave says the heater blocks on the Spiders are different shape than the older ones from MK8. So they're longer. Here's the thing. They could have just made the heat break longer and left the nozzle length the same. They could have made the part of the heat break that goes down to the heater block longer and then made the nozzle a shorter length. That's one way they could do it. So I mean, like we have adapters that are spacers for the Volcano adapters. So like you screw it into a Volcano style heater block, and then you can use V6 nozzles with them. There could be something like that made for these. Take MK8s, but I don't know if it'd even be worth it at that point.
Honestly, I would just say get the nozzles themselves.
Yeah, we'll get them in. Here's the thing that frustrates me. I've been trying to buy directly from Creality, like for over a month now, and the rep is like, "I'll get back to you," and then never gets back to me. And I'm like trying to order thousands of dollars worth of product, and he just isn't getting back to me. So actually, let me see if I can get into the hot end here. I want to see what's inside the hot end real quick before we wrap this stream up. I'm assuming we just take these two off. There's one screw on one side, one on the other. See how easy it is to get into this. I'm assuming this is it. Yep. So, oh no, this is just a 4010 fan. There's nothing special in here.
4010 blower?
Yeah, it's just a 4010 blower. So we already carry the fan for that. We actually, I think we also carry the same. This looks like a 30 millimeter fan here on the heatsink. Let's see. No, it's 25. So it's a 25.
I think that's what the bamboos use.
Yeah, look at, you can see here. It's even got the same. Yeah, so it's a Sprite extruder with that hot end on there. Yeah, you got the CR Touch in there. I'm just looking to see if there's any extra headers. I don't see any extra headers on the breakout board. They're actually all occupied. So, yeah. Now, the thing is, though, Tor, look at this. We could actually design a replacement shroud for this for a 5015 that just replaces this whole front shroud.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's already a couple out, yeah.
Like, that's definitely something doable. And we've got, it's pretty good mounting points. You got 2 screws on the right side here and then 1 on the left. That's pretty decent for like ability to update it, because this would definitely benefit from better cooling. That's stock. That's the same crappy fans they put on all the other printers. Like, they don't move a lot of air at all. And the duct.
David, there was a 3-pin header available on the board. I'm assuming you'd have to go directly back to the main board, not on the toolhead board.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have to be going all the way back to the main board. Okay. Well, that's back on there. That's easy enough to get in and out of. Alrighty. Well, that's about that. And I'm really disappointed they don't have the source code posted. Like I said, let me ask you this. If we did firmware in an LCD kit for this, would you guys care if temporarily, let's say, like, because I'm not going to be able to guarantee unless we see what they're doing or I screw around and write some code. Maybe Scott, I don't know if Scott's in here. I can ask him. But I want to see how they implemented the Auto Z offset. If it's just like a switch, that could probably be coded in. But obviously, if we had the source code, it would be even easier to just update their existing code or even roll it into Marlin.
And UF,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, I do think it's a good buy. It's a lot of printer for the money for $200. It's got a lot of nice features on there. It's got auto bed leveling. It's got the auto Z offset feature is cool. I think it'll help a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
would be
new
really
users.
good for new users. Yeah, is what I was going to say.
Yeah, no, I like it. I don't like that it's using yet another different nozzle style. I don't know why they keep changing this stuff. They make a new printer board for every damn machine out there. It seems every other model's got a different printer board in it. When they can keep using, like, there's no reason this couldn't use like the E3 free runs.
Yeah,
Like,
the free runs would have been a perfect one for that. But
yeah. So, and what that means for you guys watching is when that stock board dies, not if, when that stock board dies, you don't have an easy upgrade path to change it out for something else. Like, you can't put a big tree tech board in easily. You can't put our board in easily. Like, you basically, if you want an easy way to replace the board, you have to go buy the stock board again. And Creality stops making their stock boards quite frequently. So, like, try to find an Ender 6 replacement board. Like, they're nowhere to be found. Try to find an Ender 7 board. They're nowhere to be found. And if you do find them, they're like over $100. Like, they cost more than our control board, which is a premium board that's built better. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I'm probably honestly going to mess with our firmware on here since I do have the factory firmware files. I could probably get it working. I'd probably get everything working and probe out most of the pins. The thing with the strain sensor in the bed is I don't know how it's communicating with the printer. However, I could also probably look back at I think they released the source code for the CR6, didn't they?
sure about the CR6.
Because
Pretty sure at this point.
Because the CR6 has the CR6 has a strain gauge, and I'm wondering if the strain gauge is the same type of strain gauge they used in that versus versus this one, and it's just using that on the bed instead of using it to set the whole probe point. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking here to see if I can find the CR6. They have support for the strain gauge, and if they did, what they're doing with that and how it's communicating. Because I think that was a 4-pin. Actually, hang on. Tor, look what I have in my box of shit.
What is that?
It's a
the old
CR6.
hot end?
The CR6 hot end. This was dumped here by Doug because he bought that CR6 Max. He paid $50 for.
But you can keep the hot end.
Well, he basically gutted everything. We put an easy board on there, and he gutted everything else. But this is a complete hot end, and this has a strain gauge on here, and this does have a 4-pin signal, and this has an HX711 chip on it. I saw a similar chip on the PCB underneath this bed. Hang on. It would not surprise me if they just used the same strain gauge they did on their other printers because they already have experience with it. They probably also already had the parts. Somebody will make a breakout board for that ribbon Kaylee 4-long, same as they did with the CR10S Pros. So the problem I have with making breakout boards is we've had other people in the community rip our designs off because they didn't want, they don't like that we were making money selling our ideas. So I'm really apprehensive at making any sort of breakout boards because somebody will probably be pissed off and think we're charging too much in their opinion for something, and then they end up knocking us off. So it's not really worth me trying to make one only to have the community screw me over. The community. These are just plastic standoffs that this is on. These are not even metal. These are literally plastic standoffs. I thought they were metal. Wonder how long that's going to hold up.
It's
It
lightweight.
won't be hard to switch them out. Okay, so here, HX711. So this is, yeah, so here's a strain gauge here. This is where the bed mounts, so it pushes down on here. So this is the same chip that is on here for the CR6 strain gauge. So we look here. Do you see that HX711? I'm going to look that chip up, and that should tell me how this works. So see that HX711 there?
Yeah.
And you can see the strain gauge here is a 4-pin connector that goes to the hot end. It's red, black, green, white. So is this one. So I'm assuming this is probably the same thing. It's a similar components too. Similar caps and transistors near it. Yeah. HX711. So I can look up that chip and see how that's implemented. Maybe I don't need their source code. Maybe I can figure out how they did that.
Around to see if Creality or someone else has those for sale.
What are you looking for sale?
The strain gauge.
I don't think they sold them separately. If they did, it'd be like an OEM replacement part. I would assume, based on the data I saw, I would assume it's just basically going to be like pre-calibrated to basically emit a signal once a certain amount of force is pushed or applied to it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would assume, and I'm assuming here, how it works. And looking up that HX711 chip and trying to find a data sheet on it. Hopefully that's like a regular chip and not some weird proprietary Chinese chip. But I would assume it's some sort of amplifier or processor that reads the signal and then can output data or output a on-off signal based on what the strain gauge is reading. Trying to get this back in the hole, but I'm like missing the freaking hole. There we go. And so on the left side, they actually have two shorter posts versus the right. The right actually has two longer posts because they have a shorter one for the bed strain, and then they have a shorter one for the strain gauge for the auto Z offset.
Somebody in Australia is selling them, but they don't have pictures.
Selling what?
The strain gauge and the PCB.
Oh, for the Crealities?
Yeah. For the
So I mean,
VCSE.
theoretically, there could be a way to implement this on other printers, just like they have here. If we like made something that would bolt into the bed, it would have to be like a different spacer or some way to mount it there. But I'm not saying it couldn't be done. The question is, though, would it be worth all the time and effort to do versus just setting your offset? Don't get me wrong, it's a cool idea.
Well, you even had to fine tune it.
It would have been okay. It would have ran. Oh, it's HX711. It's SparkFun carries them. It's a load cell amplifier. So red is VCC, black is ground, white is the amplifier signal, and green is the A plus, S plus, or O plus for the load cell itself. And then on the output here, yeah, so this is actually a standard chip here. So here's the load cell amplifier from SparkFun. Okay. Let's see. It has all the features. Wait, check out the. Oh no, hang on. It uses a 2-wire interface for communication. Okay, so it's not emitting just an on and off. It is emitting actual data for communication back to the processor. So you can see here on this is just a breakout board. You got your clock and data here. You got your VCC and your ground. So this is the 4 pins. So this circuitry looks very similar to the Creality one that's underneath the bed. So it's a load cell amplifier. So they're using a load cell as that. Let's see, HX711. Marlin. Let's see if we get any hits here. Electronic scale Z. Add support. Hang on. Oh, this is for Clipper. Okay, yeah, here. Because this is for the CR6. A load cell Z probe. So this is from 2016 with the HX711. This is using Repetier, though. So this has been used for a little bit here. Marlon, let's see, electronic. I have an older version of 103 as written function, electronic scale Z probe. I wonder if they have something in Marlin already. Wait, here is HX711 from Marlin and Clipper. This is from 2022.
Spring you don't show up in.
What?
I said the one stream Scott doesn't show up in.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I probably implemented 3 years ago. Well, where is it?
So this is one, it looks like it's emulating the on-off here. So this handles everything, basically all the processing is happening on here. They're definitely doing the processing at the firmware level. Interesting. Here, 2021, Z offset automatic. Let's see here. And this got closed. This is Merlin 202. Wondering what he has in his. Dear God, there's so many files here. Hang on. Let's close that. Come on, there we go. Build root, docs. See, configuration H. Wait, where? This browser is not having a good time right now. Why can I not? Hang on. Oh my God. Click. I want to view the file. I want to see what they have in here. Yeah, it's just hung up right now. I want to click here in a view file. Here we go, view file. Come on, click view file. Dogs, come here. Lay down. Why is it not taking me to the view file?
You're not wrong. A little bit of SOS.
Why is this not letting me view the damn files? Now, let me see if I stop sharing if it catches up. It's trying. Now, let me close the tab here. Okay. What I wanted to see was what does he have enabled in here for? There's nothing in here. The probe offset, nope. No, there's nothing in here. That's so weird. I'll have to pull down this commit and see what's going on with it.
Yell at Creality to give a source.
So it's using, yeah, I will, but it is using a chip that is already been used in Arduino and stuff. And there's obviously this guy made a pull request for, like, literally this is the offset automatic with nozzle Z probe. This is literally what Creality is doing. Like, I wonder if they like took this code and used this code, like found this in here and was like, oh, we're going to integrate this into.
Like, there's an idea.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what this guy did. Next. Trying to find his commits in here. I'm not seeing them though. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing them. I'll have to look at that later. I am going to wrap this up though. However, I'm going to see if I can get the. I'm going to see if I can get source code from Creality. So, I'm like looking here just to see. Huh. 7 years ago, he found something else. There's a sketch for the Z probe called HX711_end_stop on GitHub from 7 years ago. Wait, hang on. I was. Oh, he just opened a pull request. This guy. He's just saying, why is there no scan? Okay, I'll have to look at it more. I don't know why his stuff is not showing up in here. Yeah, he did some weird shit on here. I'm just scanning through the commits here to see if he actually provided any code that can be used as an example. I don't see it here. Yeah, and they closed it because he tried to do a pull request as a release branch when he should have done it against bug fix. That's why I got closed out. Hi, vey. Okay. All right. Overall, let's do a recap here. So overall, I do like this machine for the price. It's got a lot of hardware for $200 or less. I'm hoping that we can get firmware from Creality. We probably will be able to do firmware on it just because the CPU is one that supported the.
Now you
Hello?
show up.
Oh yeah, now he shows up. Hey Scott, you ever mess with the HX711 load cell amps with Marlin? Because that's what Creality is using to set the Z offset on this. And of course, like typical Creality fashion, they have not published the source code. I can also bug Scott. I'm not going to drag the stream out any longer. I will bug Scott later. I have him on Discord. But yeah, so I was looking at seeing if this is something that we could probably do like firmware for. I think we could do it and just basically leave the load cell unused for now, and then hopefully have the possibility of adding that in later. I'm sure I'm gonna figure out this load cell. Yeah, so it's got a clock and data pin, and it's already something that there's a lot of Arduino sketches out there for. The question would be writing the code to calculate the offset based on where the sensor triggers than when the load cell triggers. That makes sense. So, but as Creality and most Creality fashion, they have not shared source code unless you have it. I know you're talk to Creality. But all those things aside, I do think it's a good buy for $200. I'm gonna see if I can get. Here, I'm thinking about this. If I can get, let's ignore the auto Z offset thing. It is a really cool feature. Even if that never gets supported, but if we can get, our Unify 2 on there or Marlin on there, that still opens up a possibility of doing a bunch of mods and stuff. So there's that.
So the
you sending me
S8
the
Pro, yeah, the S8 Pro is $120 right now.
Yeah, that's really cheap.
Yeah, Dragon Tail mentioned it. I was like, I wonder.
There
how
we
much
go.
that
I'll
is.
post it in there. I don't have an affiliate link for them, but $120 for an S8 Pro, that's a really good deal for a 300 by 300 by 400, and that wasn't a bad printer out of the box. So, anyways, for recent model printers, the Sunlu S8 is also an 8-bit board, so it is an outdated board. But if you're buying it to do a printer build and want to reuse the frame and the bed and stuff for your own hardware in there, that's actually a really good deal for a frame with a bed and everything and motors. Like, that's a pretty damn good deal. So Top at Waffle says, I don't need another one of these. He has my original S8. I have the Pro here. But yeah, so anyways, I'm going to give it a thumbs up right now. I am going to run it through its paces. I'm going to do prints on it. I think I'm going to move forward to just doing our Unify 2 for it, and with the possibility of adding in that load cell for the auto Z offset at a later time. I do think that is pretty cool. I do like that.
Scott said whenever he requests the Creality source, they send it along. So it's a good possibility to get that.
Scott, go bug them. Otherwise I will.
Please and thank you.
Please, pretty please. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. Appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Also, Friday at 5 p.m., we do have another TS3D Nation, and we've got some spicy, sparky news to talk about. All right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And as always, happy printing. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Bye-bye now.
Have a good one.